Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about what it takes to go from being just a good trainer to one who is absolutely captivating. Especially now, in this virtual world we all live in. It's really about moving past just throwing information at people and starting to create real, lasting change. All right, let's get into it.
So maybe this sounds familiar. You've got the passion, you definitely have the knowledge, but that first step, it just feels like this giant leap into the unknown. You're probably thinking, how do I even begin to build something that people will actually care about? Here's a little secret. Stop thinking about what you want to teach. Instead, I want you to focus on what you want your audience to be able to do when they leave. That one little shift, it's the first major hurdle, and it changes everything.
And yeah, it goes way deeper than just sharing some facts and figures, right? You want your sessions to actually make a difference, to create a real, tangible change. Think about it. It's the difference between someone knowing a new sales technique versus them actually closing a deal with it the very next day. That's the aha moment we're all chasing. That's what turns boring information into real-world impact.
And here it is. This is the million-dollar question now, isn't it? How in the world do you take all that amazing energy you get from a live classroom and push it through a computer screen? Well, a huge part of the answer is about shifting from a monologue, where you're just talking at people, to a dialogue. It's about using tools and techniques that are built to get people interacting, not just passively listening. And that's exactly the challenge we're going to solve.
So let's really dig into this Modern Trainers Challenge, because with this massive shift to virtual, the game has totally changed. The expectations for what makes an engaging session are through the roof. And those old methods of just talking at a screen, they just don't work anymore. We've got to evolve with the times. Think about it. The world after COVID has completely reshaped training. Our participants are way more tech-savvy, their attention is being pulled in a million different directions, and they expect a super seamless, really engaging, professional experience. Just reading bullet points off a slide and hoping people stay awake, that just doesn't cut it anymore. Your delivery has to be every bit as dynamic as your content.
And this right here, this just lays it all out perfectly. In a physical room, you can feed off the energy, you can hand out actual materials, you can read body language. But virtually, you're fighting Zoom fatigue, you're praying the tech doesn't glitch, and you're in a constant battle to keep a remote audience focused. It is a completely different set of skills. So the real question is, how do you build them?
So how do we bridge that gap? Well, it's not about just hoping for the best. It takes a structured approach. Let's take a look at what that journey to mastery really looks like, step by step. We're talking about building a solid system for success, not just learning a few clever tricks. So this path to becoming a master trainer really breaks down into 2 key days. First, on day 1, it's all about building that rock-solid foundation. This means really getting the core principles of how adults learn, mastering clear communication, and being absolutely meticulous with your prep. Only after you've nailed that can you move on to day 2, which is all about advanced application. Dynamic virtual delivery, figuring out if people are actually getting it, and managing the unique vibe of a virtual classroom.
So what's actually in a modern trainer's toolkit? Let me tell you, it's a lot more than just having good-looking slides. Let's explore a couple of the absolutely essential models and methods you can use to make your own training way more effective, starting right now.
Okay, now this is a total game changer. The Kirkpatrick model. It's a classic for a reason. It gives you a super clear framework to figure out if your training actually worked. So level 1 is reaction. Did they like it? Simple feedback form. Level 2 is learning. Did they actually pick up the knowledge you were sharing? You could use a quiz for that. But here's the most important part, level 3, behavior. Are they actually using what they learned back on the job? A great trainer thinks about hitting all 3 of these levels right from the very beginning.
And truly effective training uses a mix of methods. So instead of just a straight lecture, maybe you use a flipped classroom, right? You have people watch a short video beforehand, and then you use the live session for hands-on practice. Or maybe you use Socratic questioning. Instead of just giving them the answer, you ask these really targeted questions that guide the group to figure it out for themselves. The goal, always, is to make the learner an active part of their own discovery.
Okay, so let's talk about the transformation. Because when you start combining solid frameworks like Kirkpatrick with all these dynamic methods we just talked about, you're not just a presenter anymore. You become the trainer they actually remember, the one whose lessons create real, lasting value.
And when you master these concepts, you see real results. I mean, you'll be able to look at a team and pinpoint the exact skill gaps holding them back. Then you can customize your training to hit those specific points for maximum impact. You'll have a reliable process to run any course with total confidence, avoiding all those classic mistakes new trainers make. And ultimately, you're going to be able to help your participants achieve a real, true transformation in how they work.
And at the end of the day, it all comes down to this: credibility and trust. When your participants feel that you genuinely respect their time and are invested in their success, they will engage on a whole different level. And when management trusts that your sessions are delivering real, measurable value, wow, your impact as a trainer just skyrockets. That right there is the true measure of success.
So, look, becoming an amazing virtual trainer isn't about some magic trick. It's about building a solid foundation, using dynamic methods, and always focusing on creating a measurable impact. So the question I want to leave you with is this: which of these areas are you going to focus on first to take your own training to the next level?